Good morning, this is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. Today I'm going to plant my little marvel peas. I've judged that the soil is moist from the rain we had Thursday night, and it rained pretty good all Thursday night. It's moist, but it is starting to dry out, and I think a little moisture is going to be okay to accept the seeds and get them going. They've been soaking all night in water anyway, and then it's evaporating as it needs to over the next few days because we're going to have sunny weather. So I think it's actually the perfect time to plant my peas. So I'm so excited. I'm going to take my yard rake, put my little holes in the ground that I like to do along the row. I find that it makes it so much easier. I just use the end of that yard rake, put holes, little divots where I need them to be, and then I'll come back and plant the seeds. Then I'll come back and cover everything up. It keeps my hands from getting filthy while I'm trying to deal with the seeds in my package and everything. So I find that's the easiest way to do it, kind of in that 3-step program. So I'm going to get started on that. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Well, I made my little divots to put my seeds in. You can see them pretty good in this dirt here. It's harder to see them where the soil is black. But you see those divots there. Well, anyway, of course, I never add the seeds up right. I did the math right, and there should have been 840 spaces here. I went ahead and did 850 seeds, but after I did my little divots all the way up and down, I only used up 670 spaces. Now, I could just waste the seeds, which is not an option. I'm not doing that. But I actually had a contingency plan because this happens a lot. You know, you have to kind of plan how many seeds you're going to soak. So you do it, but you don't want to waste any of them. And I don't want to crowd out what's already here. There may not be 100% germination, but with 670 seeds, I'm going to still get a lot of plants if they come up and do okay. So I don't want to sit there and double plant spots a lot and thin out later and all that stuff. That's just more work for me, and I have plenty of seeds to deal with. So my contingency is that I'm going to take the 3 spots that I have for John Hawk corn, and I'm going to plant these peas there. I'm going to leave a little spot for my corn. You're only supposed to plant that corn 2 feet apart. You're not supposed to crowd that corn in, because if it grows good and if it does what it says, it could get up to 15 feet tall. But I'm not supposed to plant it until around April 10th. So these peas are going in on February 6th. They have like a 60-day growth period. So they should be coming out, you know, April 6th, give or take, April 4th, give or take a date because of February. And so these peas should be done, you know, maybe not completely done, but they'll be done enough to where I can go ahead and plant my corn seeds in spots in between them and get my corn in the ground. And then my peas can go, if they need to go another week or so, or a week and a half before they fizzle out, that's fine. But these peas won't bother the corn. The corn won't have hardly any time to germinate and start coming up before these peas will be done. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make use of both of my spots. Plus, it'll have the added benefit of keeping weeds down on this corn plot in the meantime. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to plant these last few seeds. I think it's 180 seeds in my corn. Another thing I'm fixing to do is I'm going to dig a little trench along row 1, which is where I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes, some pole beans, and I think some Armenian cucumbers. But I'm just going to dig a little trench along the side of that row all the way down. And I'm going to plant some of these purple top turnip greens, some sugarloaf turnips, and a few golden globe turnips. Don't have a lot of those seeds. I was working on some seed plans last night, and I think I'm going to do a few extra little things like that, like tucking those turnips in. It really helps with weed control. It's not something I'm just worried about having a big table full of turnips to sell or anything, though if I have some, that'll be great. But mostly I'm kind of putting them in there for some weed control, let them grow, let them get established. By the time I put some tomato plants in there, you know, around March 25th or something like that, these will have a good time to get established. They take about 55 days. And so that'll give them, you know, a good bit of their time to grow right there. And then when you put the tomato plants in, they'll still be just transplants for a while. It'll take them a while to get established. So the turnip greens and the turnips can come out by that point. So I had a lot of the seeds. I really had not thought about them. I hadn't really worked them into my plan. So I decided today, you know, why not just put them all along that row? Might not be ideal. I would have wanted a wider spot to put a lot of the greens, but I think it'll work. It'll be fine. just to have a few, even just to put them up for myself, to be honest with you. But I think it'll help to keep any type of weed pressure kind of down if it can get going before the spring really gets here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to use my little triangle hoe. I love this thing. I can dig the trench with it, and then I can come back and backfill it with it too. So I'm going to get started on that. Okay, I dug a little trench all the way down this row. Fixing to put the seeds in there, just kind of sprinkle them along in that row and then backfill the row. I think that'll do fine for these, and I think they'll come up pretty quick and do good. Well, I'd like to interrupt this program. I think I'm just going to end this video right now. It's just been a frustrating afternoon. On the one hand, I got a lot done. I wanted to get out here today and plant my peas, so I did. And I planted those, planted the remainder of the seeds with my corn, as I told you, and got that done. I got it backfilled, all the holes, all 850 holes, and that's taken care of. I actually had set my camera up to film me just for a few seconds, you know, showing me sowing the seeds, and never turned my camera on. So did all that backfilling and all that work and didn't have my camera on. So then I came out here after lunch and I was doing the turnips and the turnip greens and got that done. I dug my trench, I showed you that, and then I set my camera up so that I could show you, you know, me planting the seeds. Well, I was just kind of going along the row and letting them scatter in the trench, which is all you have to do with turnip seeds. And then I backfilled that, got it all neat and straightened up and watered and everything, and thought I had my camera on and didn't. So I'm really not worried about it. I mean, everybody knows how to put seeds in the ground. It's just kind of content, you know, it gives you something interesting to look at. But in all honesty, I just have had a lot of interruptions today. I love my husband to death, but it's just one of those days where he needs me a lot, I guess you'd say. Not for anything important. It's just, you know, we have microphones that we talk to each other on, these walkie-talkies, and gotten a lot of calls, you know, he didn't want to come out earlier because it was cold. So, and I understand that. So I came on out and did my peas and things like that. So I kept having to go back in the house for different reasons. And then once it warmed up after lunch, I told him, I said, it's beautiful outside, you know, come ride the side by side and you do that. And I'm going to get out here and plant my turnips and do all that kind of stuff. So he came out and we loaded him up and, you know, he heads off. But he seems to always come right back. No matter where he rides, he comes right back. And he decided what he does, and I know what's going on. You know, this was a man that a year ago was working, and if he had downtime, especially on a day like this, a beautiful day, he was outside and he was doing things. And even in the winter when he couldn't mow and things like that, he would probably on a day like today, he would take his acetylene torch thing and go burn off all the brush on our side of our pond, you know, just things like that. He always kept our place very neat, and he always piddled. He always had something to do, and he, on a day like this, he would have been outside. So when he gets on the side-by-side and he starts riding around, I'm thinking, you know, just go ride around and enjoy the day, enjoy the sun. He rides around and sees that this needs to be done and that needs to be done. So he circles back. He's the Jen Psaki of side-by-side riders. He circles back. And he comes back to me to tell me what he's seen that needs to be done. And he wants to try things these days on his own. He used to just understand he couldn't do a lot of things. But now he's trying, you know, he wants to do some things. So he came and asked me for a bucket a while ago. And I said, what do you need a bucket for? He said, I'm going to fill it with dirt and go put it in a hole that needs filling somewhere. And I said, how are you going to do that? You know, his right side is completely paralyzed. He drives the four-wheeler with his left hand and left foot. And, you know, I'm thinking, how is he going to lean out of the side-by-side, fill a bucket, and go? Well, he didn't want to tell me. He just, give me the bucket, you know, I'll handle it. So off he went with the bucket. Of course, he did his gin sake and circled right back a few minutes later. I can't do it. He said, I need your help. Come on, come on, you know. I said, well, I can't right now, but I will go in a little while. So he's waiting on me right now. But while he's waiting on me to come and to finish what I was doing, he's found another thing. So I'm not sure what it is, but he came back over here and told me he needed the shovel. So I had to go find it, you know, stop what I'm doing to go find. I thought it was by the house, and it wasn't. It was 20 feet from me in the shed, but I didn't realize that till I walked all over the property. So I got him the shovel, and so he headed off, and I don't know what's going on. So I just beeped him because I saw him just sitting out on the beach in the side-by-side, and I asked him, you know, what's the matter? Are you okay? Yep, I'm waiting on you. So he's waiting on me. So you can have a plan, and a lot of times it just doesn't go the way it wants to go, and then you're exhausted at the end of the day, and you're not sure really what made you so tired, except then you start looking back and you're like, I had a train of thought going, and my train of thought was just continually interrupted all day long. And I think mentally, I wear out mentally quicker than I wear out physically. Once I'm up in the morning, I can go till midnight. You know, I can just come out here and do all these things and go to midnight. But if my train of thought can't keep going, I get mentally tired, and then that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to call it a day. Matter of fact, I hear him coming now. He's coming to see what's taking me so long. So it's silly and it's funny, and I'm so glad he's at least trying to do things, so I don't mind helping him. But I'm just going to be honest with you. This isn't going to be one of those videos that just clicks, you know, and I edit and just, you know, put a cute title on it and show you that I got a lot of things done today. Today's just going to be one of those, you know, one step forward, two step back kind of day. I did get my peas planted. I did get my turnips planted. And I was going to spread potting soil all along the top. I had a bag and a half of potting soil left from doing the green stalk thing the other day. So I was just going to take it and put just a very light layer along my 70-foot row. I have about 3 cubic feet left, so I think that'll go a long way. I was just going to put a light dusting because those carrot seeds really like, you know, something soft to germinate in. So I'm going to do that. But that's going to roll to tomorrow. We're going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. Well, I think it's going to be cloudy, but, you know, no rain. So I'm going to come out here tomorrow, see what I can get done again. Going to go see what he needs me to help with, and then it's time to do supper, and I'm the cook. So I've got to get in there and figure something out for supper. So it's just one of those days. It's beautiful. I'm not complaining. I'm just going to be honest with you that this is kind of how my days roll along sometimes. This is Lainey at Camp Joy Farms. Enjoy your week. Enjoy this beautiful weather if you've got it. If you don't have snow and you don't have freezing cold, I hope you don't. But enjoy your weather and have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.